Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have, back by popular demand, we have Cote, and she is the founder and the owner of FurLove Comfort Cats. And she's got Zor Rose with her. And Zor is 3 years old.
Yes.
And she's a calico.
Yes.
Where has she been to comfort people? Where has she been?
Everywhere. She's been everywhere. Zor Rose is very popular. She was actually at the cat show. As you can see, Zor Rose has a tip there because she's one of our fabulous ferals. She and her sister Jemima Ellen were on your show, I believe, a couple of years ago when they were 3 months old.
She was a baby.
Yep, she was 3 months old, and she was in the cat show last year, and she won all kinds of awards. She paraded all around the cat show on her leash.
Yeah.
So she's very popular with people, as you can see.
Look at the bow.
Well, our logo is the rainbow because that's God's promise, and so I found this little rainbow, and I thought, oh, won't that be cute for her? So
I don't think my cats would put up with that, with a bow. She's very... How can a feral cat be... I don't know if the word is trained, to be calm like this?
Well, one of our other cats, Bo, worked with her and her sister because when they came, they were very wild and they hated my house. They hated everything about being inside. And he just worked with them and he spoiled them. And that's part of the FurLove charm is that other cats take on the kittens when they come in and they work with them. So a lot of people will come up to me and try and lecture me about, integrating new cats into our household. And I go, it doesn't happen that way at our house.
No. So actually, the cats that have been there a while will, instead of getting irritated, they'll take a kitten, they'll be kind to the kitten.
Because they're excited there's going to be a new kitten. They've actually invited other cats into our house because they go out on leashes in the end. I'll go out and they'll have, another cat sitting out there with them. One time, though, I went out. This was kind of terrible. I went out and Buster had 2 deer in the driveway, 2 deer.
Yeah.
And he was touching noses with them. And I'm like, no, we're not taking any deer into our house.
Oh, that's kind of... Is that getting more common now? I know we saw 3 deer feasting on our lawn one evening we came home. It was a beautiful sight. Where are they coming from? I guess they're being pushed down through the...
Right.
Down through the hills. Now, she has brought a beautiful... purple ribbon. Now, what was this? This was for her, right?
Yes, this was for Zor Rose when she was at the cat show.
Yeah.
And she was in 11 judgings against 18 cats, 18 other cats, and because she knows what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. She knows.
And she made the top 10 cats 8 times. The highest she went was 3rd. She never made it to 1st, but I think they were all picking her because of her clipped off ear, because everybody knew she had been through a feral cat program.
It says 6th best household pet, 5th best household pet. These are all the people who voted for her, right?
Well, those were the judges. She actually had to be in judgings, and there were 18 cats in her class, and she went through 11 judgings.
Wow, she made it up to 10th best household pet.
Yeah, 1 is the best. Look at you. Are you a?
Is that yours?
Is that your ribbon?
When she goes to cat shows, how does she get really upset by other cats, or how does she take it?
We only did the 1 show, and she hated it. I hated it. Cat shows are an awful lot of work, and when they're in the show, they can't wear their collars. They have to be in cages. There's all kinds of spraying going on.
Do you walk her around?
Yeah, but they can't have anything to distinguish them from other cats. They're judged strictly on their color and their demeanor and how they carry themselves. So she hated having to take her collar off. She had to take her collar off multiple times. And on the second day, she had a big meltdown. She was hissing at everyone because she was just overtired. She didn't want to take her collar off.
She was fed up.
Yeah, that's her collar, and she likes wearing it. So it really was kind of funny. But
today, too, that Kate was telling me that you were coming down the hall to the studio, and she just It's been a long time. She hasn't been here since when now? 3? Well,
Yeah,
if
almost
she's 3.
3.
She was a baby.
Yeah, almost
And
3 years.
did she just literally walk in the door?
Yeah, she walked right up the stairs. She came right down the hall. She was actually meowing outside the door. And of course, you have that sign up that says, the guests need to be quiet. I said to her, honey, you need to be quiet.
Oh my gosh!
Because she was like, Jan, I'm here, I'm outside the door. Let me in.
She's so friendly. We have 2 cats, and this is amazing. I mean, I don't think I've ever had seen a cat that goes, and then the other kitty you had on, just so, like, how you doing? They come right up to you. Is it because of you personally, Kate? Do you think that you've got the magic that gives the kids?
Right. I have a real gift. In fact, that kind of lets us segue into a story I wanted to share with you that happened yesterday. And I hope people will take this story to heart when they're picking out a facility for their loved ones, because there's different levels of care where people go, And so yesterday we were at assisted living in Natick, and there's a lady that we visit that's a retired pet sitter, and she's 91, and you wouldn't know it if you met her.
Yeah.
And she's not always in the best of health. And so yesterday they went in and said, Jean, Kiki's here. Do you want to visit? And she said, no, I don't feel good. And so then they went in again and they said, Jean, are you sure you don't want to visit? And she said, no, I really don't. And so the head of the whole program and the activities person on that floor and I had this big powwow outside this woman's room, and they said, she really needs this visit. They said, what do you think we should do?
Let the cat run in herself?
And so I said, so we talked and we discussed it, and they said, well, would you mind just going in alone? And I said, of course. I said, so I went in, and she had all the lights out and everything, and she was laying all curled up like this in her bed, and I just took Kiki out, put him on the bed next to her, and the arms came around, and the activities person was in another activity for an hour, and she said, are you sure you don't mind being in here by yourself? And I said, no, of course not. By the time Marissa came back, Jean was sitting up, she was smiling, and I had been sitting on the bed, and the woman said to me, because I was like, on the bed, and she sat up and she said, Kate, why don't you sit in a chair like you always do? And so I went and got in the chair, and we situated Kiki, and she was smiling. And when we were leaving, she said, you know me so well. She said, thank you for not taking no for an answer. And when the activities person came in, she said, look at you. She said, you're like a whole new person now that you had this visit. And, some places that I go to, they're like, oh, no, don't go in. They said no. But a lot of times, no doesn't really mean no.
Yeah.
No means, like a lot of us would say, well, I don't have my face on and my hair looks funny. I don't want to visit. And none of those things matter. What matters is them having a visit.
She sounds like she was depressed.
Right. And so, I can tell people who really don't want to visit, people who are really frightened, people who are really allergic, and I've never forced this on anyone, but...
Can you get an adorable picture? Can you zoom in on this, Paul? The calmness of this cat.
She's purring away.
Oh, look at the face.
She's purring away. She says, I'm so happy to be here, Jan, on your show.
Oh, so you go to St. Camillus, you go to Beaumont, and you're going to be going to Cornerstone up the street.
Yeah, we've already started Cornerstone.
How did that go?
Oh, that was hysterical. Because, actually, Soros, I'm going to laugh at you a little bit. We went to Cornerstone, and Cornerstone is just lovely. The people have like 2-room little places, and they have a couch, and then they have their bedroom. We don't have a couch. We don't visit anywhere where there are couches.
Yeah.
This one didn't have any idea what a couch was. She wouldn't get on any of the couches. All the people had to get their beds so that they could have a visit. And, of course, the people just loved it. They all ran and got in their beds, and she jumped right in their beds. But I'd say, get on the couch. It's okay, honey. And she was like, I don't think I'm going to get on the couch. I don't know what that's all about. And it was really just so funny. And towards the end of the visit, she was starting to get on the back of the couches, but people don't understand. It's like an experiential thing. You know, once they experience something and it gets in their little heads and they understand what that's all about, then they just go for it.
This is a beautiful. What's a placemat?
It's a magnetized sign.
Oh, it's magnetic. Do you put it on in your car?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I could put it on the
Look at
car
this.
if I wanted.
FurLove Comfort Cats. What else does it say on it?
It says Kate Cote. My phone number 508-476-3041. Our website, which is FurLoveComfortCats.com, and my email, which is catlady with a K 109 at hotmail.com. And we're also on Facebook under FurLoveComfortCats.com.
You know, I love one. This is a great way to advertise. You know, it's magnetized. Is it expensive?
No, the signs are fairly inexpensive. We're going to be on. We're going to be at Pet Rock on Sunday, and I got a big banner, and it was like $15.
That's it. Where
Yeah.
do they sell things like that?
Vistaprint online. Everybody says don't use Vistaprint, but I like Vistaprint.
Do they
so
deliver
I
to your
don't
door?
care. Yeah, they're very inexpensive.
$15, and you get to. Do you design it? How do you do it?
You can design it yourself. They'll work with you. So it depends on what you got going on. And the sign is actually, we have a new business card, which unfortunately I don't have any handy, so you'll have to come to Bedrock to get our new business card.
So, Sunday's date, the date Sunday is what day?
September 9th.
September 9th, coming up. Today is Wednesday. What time is it going to be?
Is it 12 to 4? I think it's 12 to 4, 12 to 5.
Is it in Worcester?
Yes, it's at Wyman and Gordon.
Oh, now they're going to do it at Wyman. Didn't it used to be over at the Green something park?
Yeah, they've had it a number of different places, but I guess Wyman and Gordon has really worked out for them, so they're going to have it there.
So you're going to be there.
Yep.
How many of the cats are you going to have?
Just Samson. Samson's going to be with us on Sunday because it's a tough venue for the cats because it's mostly dogs. People show up with hundreds of dogs, and of course we have the famous story where we were raising money for Pet Chance one year, and Bo punched out a Rottweiler. It was a 70
The cat punched a Rottweiler.
Yeah, it was a 70-pound Rottweiler. He punched him out, knocked him right over on his back, and I was
How?
like,
Did he teach you just like this?
yeah, he just punched him. And I come from a boxing family, and I used to box myself, and so Bo just punched out this dog. Then he had his paw like this, and he was looking around, he was like, who wants some of this? And I was like hysterically laughing because, you know, I hate to say this, but people are out with their dogs, and they don't have any control over their dogs, and that was the situation. The dog kind of overstepped his boundaries,
And the cat let him have it.
and Bo was tired of it, and Bo's a big cat, so and the Rottweiler went right over on his back, and I was like laughing hysterically, and
Were you worried though that the other people were going to say, "How dare your cat do that?"
no, I wasn't. But the people we were fundraising for afterwards, they were like, Katie, he can't go around punching out dogs. We're trying to get donations. And I was like, you need to appreciate the humor of this situation, you know.
We are talking with Kate Cote, and she is the founder and owner of FurLove Cats.
Comfort Cats.
Comfort Cats. If you would like Kate to come with one of her, I've never seen such happy, friendly cats. Come maybe to a nursing home where you have a loved one or a friend. Where else do you go?
We go to a bunch of places. We just did a birthday party on Saturday for a 96-year-old woman in Sudbury, and that was just awesome because I had Samson with me, and it was actually Samson's birthday too. He was a year old, and he just sat next to this woman the whole time and cuddled with her, you know, and I sat on the side of him. And, you know, there used to be a lot of, like, misunderstanding. People like, what do they do? You know, well, what do they do when they come? Well, they act like real cats.
Yeah.
You know, they just cuddle up with you and they let you pat. Go ahead. You can go see Jan if you want. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How can they reach you, Kate?
Well, I have email, which is catlady, Katlady 109 at hotmail.com. You can message us at Facebook, which is FurLoveComfortCats.com. And what else? You can call us on the phone, which is 508-476-3041.
Kate, do the cats ever actually fall asleep next to the person?
Oh, yeah, they go to sleep. It's really kind of funny. It's really kind of comical because people say, people say to me, look at them, they're sleeping. It's like, don't you wish you could do your job and sleep too? You know, because they sleep in the stroller, and that's what cats do.
Now, who is this dude again? Tell us about this.
Well, this is our newest comfort cat. His name is Daniel, and we want to share his story and also give a shout out to the cattery that he came from, which is Susu Cattery in Cranston, Rhode Island. We've been looking for a Siamese cat because some of our clients have, requested a Siamese cat, and Siamese cats are very hard to get.
And they talk a lot.
Yes, and they're very hard to adopt through the shelters and all of that, through Siamese Rescue. It's very, very tightly controlled to get a Siamese cat. So we had met this lady in May, and we couldn't come to an agreement about, finances. And I ran into her again a couple of weeks ago at another cat show. She had Daniel with her, and he has Grand Champion and Champions in his bloodline. And she told me that she had been in rehab and had seen what a big deal it was for people to have a cat come and visit, because traditionally there's dogs. And she had thought about it, and she really wanted to help FurLove out, and she wanted one of her Siamese cats to be a FurLove comfort cat. So let me flip this around so we can give out her information.
Oh, okay.
It's Susu Cattery, Judy Susu, Coventry, Rhode Island, and it's 401-615-0266. And she has 4 kittens right now that she has just raised that are ready to go. And unfortunately, the FurLove cats welcomed Daniel so arduously into our home that he is now in our plumbing. He's been in there for a week, and it's really just so funny because everybody's always saying, oh, you have to do you have to do this. The other cats won't like it. Well, unfortunately, myself and the other cats, we just loved John Daniel so much that he has decided that he's been overwhelmed, and he's in the conduit now, although I did get to see his butt the other day, and he sticks his face out of a closet periodically and glares at me. So I'm hoping that he will eventually come around.
Maybe the other cats, like you say, this amazed me that the older cats, when you're introducing a new cat to try, to develop for the program, they will adopt a fresh cat into the thing.
Yep, and it's usually one cat. Kiki raised Yael, and I remind him periodically that's probably why she's such a brat now, because he raised her. She's kind of naughty. But then Bo raised the last 4 kittens, and they're very well adjusted. But sadly, Bo has gotten up in years, and I think he may be seeing his trip to the mansion soon. And
Kate, how long have you been doing this?
All my life.
You started as a kid.
Yes.
And tell me again, did you bring these animals to people's homes and things like that?
Yes. When I was a child, I had severe speech problems, and I had a lot of emotional issues because of my upbringing. And so I had a little cat that went everywhere with me in my hood, and I would just take her everywhere. So I just kept doing it my whole entire life. And and that's why these cats are so well adjusted, because they just go everywhere. They've been to church, they go to Douglas Camp Meeting, they've done street ministry.
You didn't really? They're working with churches too?
Well, I take them to, if there's a camp meeting, because a lot of people get kind of funny if you bring a cat into church.
Yeah.
Although I would really like some of the churches to get behind us and do speaking engagements about. Because we're visiting a lot of people that used to go to church.
Yes.
That are now in nursing homes, and they don't, they kind of pass by their churches. They used to being part of something, and now they're not anymore.
That's very good to get that message across. Because, as you say, a lot of the people in the nursing homes and rehab after serious surgery, they used to go to church or synagogue or whatever. Do you give presentations about what you do? Do you bring the cats with you when you give a presentation?
Oh, yes, always. In fact, people will say that to me. They'll say, Look at you. Are you a pretty girl? People will say, are you going to bring a cat with you? And I'm like, of course. I mean, I can come and talk, but I'm not nearly as effective as if I come with one of the cats to talk to people.
Yeah. You had last time, the funniest thing, friends and I were visiting another friend in, excuse me, in Beaumont, over in Northbridge. And we were sitting in the lobby area. And I looked up and I saw this lady coming down the hall with a baby carriage.
Well, pet stroller.
Yeah, well, at first I thought it's some mother with her child visiting a senior citizen or whatever. I looked more closely, and this was Kate with one of the cats. And I looked at her and I said, I know you. And then it just clicked, and it was great because the person we were visiting, I think he's an animal lover.
Yes.
I think that really cheered him up. I really do. That was a surprise and a half to him. I wonder why they don't tell you in these places, go to this room, go over here, this and that.
It depends on the facility. One place I have a list, and I have to make sure I touch all those people in the rooms. And, other places I have a staff member walks around with me, and that's pretty cool because then they explain to the person what's going on. Because sometimes people are under the impression that, they want them to take the cat.
Yeah.
And, and they're like, I can't take care of the cat. I live here, and so the staff member will explain to them that it's a visit. But then after people get, understand what's going on, they start looking forward to it week after week. And I'm really excited now because things are really starting to take on and, take off. And, look at this one.
Cornerstone's coming up. You've been starting over there.
Yep. And so we're just so popular. And I mean, when we go to a place, nobody ever says, oh, it didn't work for us, we don't want you. Usually they end up expanding their program. And it's just, I hate to blow my own horn, but it's a nice little intimate kind of program.
It's a great big cheerful card.
Yeah,
that you're sending in person.
Right, but we sit with the person. I let the cats be themselves. I don't force them to do anything. Sometimes they stay in the stroller and people pat them. Sometimes they get right out into people's beds and and I just I just pretty much let them be free to do their own thing.
Does the cat do any of the cats ever, I can't imagine it, ever act like I don't want to go near that person? Or are they always just very friendly?
It depends because sometimes, especially with children, I have to kind of put a lid on kids because they want to come run screaming up, and it's like stop,
yeah. Sure.
And I try and say to people, do what you would do if you were meeting another person. Like if I was going to meet you out somewhere, I wouldn't go screaming and pick you up and get you in a headlock and grab at you.
And, out too well.
I just, and it's like, treat the cats like that, exactly. And they'll be fine. Are you showing off your rainbow?
Aw.
Who's a pretty girl?
Look at that. Now, she does that. She does this with people that you take her to visit. She will cuddle right up.
Right. Well, she's very personable, and she'll parade around, and I think that's what's going on. She kind of wants to walk around the studio and help Paul do his job over there and, be very involved with everything that goes on. But she's a good girl. But I have to share a cute story with you about her sister, because we don't want to leave her sister out. We were visiting the same lady that didn't want the visit. We were visiting her last month, and I had Jemima Ellen with me. And Jemima Ellen isn't quite as personable as Zora Rose is, and she was moving around and all of this and letting the woman pat her head. And then she finally settled down. She put her back to the woman, and the woman was patting her, and the activities person said to me, do you realize Jemima Ellen's watching Gunsmoke on TV? And I go, oh, you're kidding me.
The cat was watching?
She's watching Gunsmoke on TV. And I look over, and the little head is going like this, and the ears are going like this.
Was she sitting there with a patient, a person?
Yeah, she was doing a covered visit, and she was watching TV.
With the person.
So I said to her, Jemima Ellen, you're not supposed to be watching TV. So then they let her have a few more minutes because she was so into the TV program. Well, the head of the whole program called and said, you're supposed to be on another floor now.
Oh.
They said, can you get her down onto the other floor?
Exactly.
So I said to her, okay, Jemima Ellen, jump. I said, Jemima Ellen, get in the stroller. I said, "Get in the stroller right now." So I'm pushing her. She got the stroller, and the head's like this, and she's going, "Row, row, row." And I said to her, "I'm sorry, you're not going to see the end of Gunsmoke. You're working." And it was hysterical. And I went around to all the other different venues we went to, and everybody was laughing. And they will, and people start like, we overanalyze things today, and they were all like, "Well, why was she doing that? Why was she watching Gunsmoke?"
Yeah.
And it was like, because she liked it. That's why she was watching Gunsmoke.
Kate, out there, if people have a loved one in a nursing home, do you also go to, or any other rehab facilities or this type of thing, do you go into the hospitals?
We go anywhere people invite us, and so right now we're concentrating on getting the message out so that people can hear about us, because it's word of mouth seems to be catching on.
And you're a one-woman show.
Yep.
She will literally bring the cat in a baby stroller, and wherever and when they tell you to go into these rooms and this and that, actually the cat will just waddle right in and hop right up. And if you have a loved one or friend, like I'm saying, in one of these facilities, I know if I were in the hospital or in one of them, I would love this. This is a cat or a dog to me would be a big gift. And like I said, when we had our friend over in Beaumont and we saw this cat, I'm like, perfect timing. Kate, one more time, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, we have a website, which is www.FurLoveComfortCats.com. We're on Facebook. You can send us a message at FurLoveComfortCats. I have email, which is catlady, KATLADY 109 @hotmail.com. And you can also reach us by phone, which is 508-476-3041. And just to give us a little shout out, I'm pretty much the only person in the area who works with cats. So, this is becoming really popular because, everyone isn't a dog person. A lot of people, having a dog come to visit, wouldn't do anything for me, but a cat really would.
But this will. Don't be shy. Give her a shout out, and we'll have you back again, I'm sure, with another cat.
With Daniel.
With another cat. Thank you for coming.
Peace and purrs.
There we go. We'll see you next time.